Test. Hello. We got this. All right, don't worry. So you guys didn't miss anything. All I was saying is welcome to the stream. I'm Corey, not a financial advisor. Just talk about stuff. So good stuff. So the good thing is all I was doing. Thank you, Stoli, for super chat. I sincerely apologize that you had to do that. Okay, so here's the dealio. That whole time, I was just complaining about. So this is a good thing. Ironically enough, I was complaining that whenever I was, it was, oh my gosh. All right, it's all good. So on Friday, whenever I was out of town, I tried to make a video. I tried to go live. I tried a bunch of different things, but nothing was working over there, right? My laptop was not working with any of the software, working with anything. I turned it off, turned it back on. I did a lot of troubleshooting. I'm usually pretty good at it. For whatever reason, OBS did not want to take my camera, didn't want to show. It either wanted to. It didn't want to show my screen. I mean, it worked on the camera, and it didn't work on my screen. It was just a bunch of issues after issues after issues. It was rough, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Obviously, you know, the settings saved over because whenever you use this Streamlabs OBS, which is what I use at that point, it kind of, you can use it, you know, across places. So anyways, it really was my fault. I can't blame anybody but myself. It is what it is. So with that being said, it is very good to be back. I'm so happy to see you all. I apologize. We were having some technical difficulties. It wasn't even technical difficulties. It was smooth brain difficulties. Luckily, Diane saved the day. Thank you very much. And now we're hopefully back to business as usual. Please, please, please. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let me say hi to the chat. We'll talk about what happened today. And you know, spoiler alert, a lot of red. It is what it is. So let me say hi to the chat. Johnny, what is up? Rob002, baby. Lee, hello. Diane, hello. Thank you for saving the day. As well as Stoli. Stoli would have had to save the day. This is what I get for staying at the top of chat. This is my fault. Andrew, what's up? Bob, Corey in the House of Cards. Johnny here. Good stuff. All right. Eric, what is up, my friend? Storm Spotter 2. Oh, Storm Spotter. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. That's pretty cool. Run. Hey, what's up, Hamza? What's up, GameStop? AMC was heavily shorted again today. Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at AMC, how it was shorted and all that good stuff. And we'll keep going. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look. I guess we're on GameStop. Let's just go look at GameStop really quick. I do have a position in GameStop. I have been thinking about adding to my position, but whenever I was going to add, it would have been Friday. So I know I said I was going to add a position or add to my position on AMC on Friday. I did. I added to my position. I got in around, what was it at on Friday? I got in toward the end, like I said I was going to. Oh, well, we'll talk about GameStop and then I'll talk about AMC. So GameStop was down 6.29% on the day. And the after hours currently down just 0.36 cents. So really not too crazy just yet, or so far at least. And as we can see, today was just a heavily shorted day, right? We'll see if GameStop actually changed as far as the shorting goes in Ortex. But what we did see is, you know, this is how it's been looking. What's unfortunate is we've been respecting this level of support right here, right? 212. And as you can see, you know, we did break that level of support. We've been consolidating for a while. Typically after the consolidation, especially with these kinds of stocks, I look for a nice little run, right? I'm actually pretty surprised that we didn't have a little run. Realistically, a little more microscopically, I was hoping for a bounce, or I'm sorry, a breakthrough of this level of resistance, you know, around here, 230, maybe a little more microscopically, you know, 225 or even 220, right, to break out of here. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of that. We just got two solid candles, which is what you look for whenever you're looking for a change in direction, right? Or a break of a level of support or resistance. And that's what we had. We had two these solid candles here that broke through pretty strongly, and it just kind of held right there. Anything? I'm trying to see if there was any kind of previous price action to support this, but nothing really around here that I would be looking for. And so I'm curious to see what'll happen with this, if it'll continue to be heavily shorted or if it'll bounce back the other way. Okay, let's take a look at, oh yeah, oh my gosh, Doge is bleeding. Okay, we'll get into Doge in a second, because I do want to talk about Doge and all that. Let's talk about AMC really quick, our favorite, right? AMC was down. I don't know why I said it was up. It was not up. Was down 6.2% today. In the after hours, down 0.43%. This is okay. I am kind of thinking like this is probably, you know, I do believe it's going to go down before it goes up, right? And what I mean by that is before they start to cover, they're going to try to short it, try to get those final shorts in, whatever they're going to do, naked shorting, short ladder attacks. That's what I was looking for, short laddering, whatever they're going to do. And I do think that maybe we're in that direction, right? We did see 002 passed, or is in effect today, right? It passed. It should be in effect today. I do want to take a look at Matt Kors did have a post today talking about 002, and he said it takes effect Wednesday. I'll see if that post is still up. I'm not sure if he was corrected or if I'm mistaken and he's right. So we'll take a look and see if there's anything that makes sense there. But you know, either way, I'm loving where we are with AMC. I mean, realistically, as long as we're above $42, I'm okay. I consider all of this essentially consolidation. You know, if you were to zoom out, look at it a little more macroscopically, I feel like this is all kind of consolidation. Realistically, previously here, whenever we broke through, I guess this is a head and shoulders pattern, right? We have the head over here, shoulder, shoulder. So I guess we were looking at a potentially more bearish I would call it head and shoulders. This might be a little bit of a reach to call it head and shoulders, but you know, sure. You make your own your own decisions. But either way, we did, break through there. Had a level of support around 56.10. We did break through there, and now our next level of support, I would say probably around 53.64. Hopefully we respect there. I mean, we are around here 54.73. I mean, it's just $2 below 56, which I don't know, it depends. It's whatever you want to do, however you want to call it. That's I would probably say somewhere probably 54 level of support, and then we'll break through and send 53 if I wanted to be super technical about it. But I do like saying 53, 51, and I'm sure there's some in here as well, but 42 really is my safe zone. Okay, 42, if it went all the way down to 42, as long as it doesn't really break 42 and hold, I feel pretty good, and that's all right. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I think that we're going to see some price action here pretty soon. Diamond backhand would say on a Tuesday, which is tomorrow. I'm looking forward to Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for some better price action. We did break this. Whenever we broke 60, I was really hoping we were going to have another rip, but as you can see, we did just find another level of resistance here around 60, we'll call it $63, right? And whenever we break 63, I think that we'll probably get, and let me draw this horizontal line here so I can have it for myself. Maybe I'll put it around here. So kind of sketchy. Yeah, I'll do it there. That's fine. 63.12 is what we'll do. I'll give this a green color so I remember. Great. So there we go. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Looking for a breakthrough, right? And if we break through here, I'll go ahead and give this one we'll give it a critical mass color. Is this dark green enough? Actually, I like these dark greens. They're kind of hard to see. Yeah, we'll do a dark green, and then this one we'll give it a critical mass color of this. Okay, there we go. This way, it's these light blue ones take up a lot of space. But anyways, or not, they draw the eye. They kind of make it difficult for it to see a little bit. But so that's what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Wait to see what happens. Play it out nice and slow. I'm not freaking selling. I'm not going anywhere. So I have time. I have time to hang out and see what we get. Now, let's take a look at Doge really quick. Doge just on a free fall, right? On a complete free fall. And it looks like, here's the deal. It looks like it bounced. Well, I don't even consider this a bounce. It's kind of, it stopped for a second. We'll see if that continues in that direction. These are just the 1 hour candles. It's just not looking good at all. I'm wondering where this is going to go down to. As you can see, currently it bounced off of 16 cents. And, I wonder if it'll, excuse me, I'm sorry. I wonder if it'll bounce back and have a nice recovery all the way back up. If I were taking a position in Doge, I probably would take a position right now. And I'd probably go in, maybe I personally would probably go in like 75% if I was going to take a position. And I might save that 25% in case it goes even further down, and maybe wait for like another bounce if it continues to drop. Or maybe I would go 50. I'm not sure what I would go in right now, but I would love to get a position under 20 cents in Doge. I feel like Doge really isn't going anywhere in the long term. Right now, it's just on a weird move. There's a few different reasons why, and I really don't know if there was like a news catalyst as to why Doge is running down. There's going to be a bunch of news articles like as to, like about them falling, especially Doge and Bitcoin. And I see this one, I guess this is Ethereum. But there's just going to be the articles that they fell, but I don't think there's anything as to why they fell. I really haven't seen anything. I'm not really following crypto too closely. If you know anything, just let us know, please. But the theory is probably going to be margin calls. That's what it was last time. Last time these drop like this, one of the theories was, it was energy consumption because there was a big concern about that. I'm not sure if Tesla had sold out of their Bitcoin position at that time, but I know there was the final one, the third one. I can't remember the exact second one, but the final one was that institutions having to pay for their margin calls was the reason given. It was like on CNBC or something, so take that for what it is. But same thing with Bitcoin. Let's see how Bitcoin has. So Bitcoin hasn't. It's fallen like pretty badly, right, from 41 down to 31. But realistically, it's still, it's still 31, right? And as you can see, previously we did have this level of, this is so funny. We had this level of support, and it seems to be, respecting this level of support still around 31. We'll see if it breaks through, but so far so good. As you can see, just a huge red day in the market. We had some green ones. I do want to take a look at the tops of the days, and then we'll get into Ortex and a few different things I want to take a look at. So look at the 1 day, and Torchlight went crazy, up 58% on the day. I saw a few people talking about it, so that's pretty crazy. I'm not too familiar with Torchlight, energy company and stuff. But I'm really not too familiar with what's been going on. Oh my gosh, these guys are on a rampage right now. These guys were at 3 cents, they're at 9 cents now. And they were at 3 cents, 10 days ago. Man. And then if you go back even further, these guys have been running. What's their 6 month look like? From 52 cents to 11 bucks as a high. Wow. And it goes even further down. Jeez. Here's the deal. There are always going to be crazy kinds of opportunities like this, crazy moves. But you know what? I don't have the... I got very lucky with AMC, but I typically don't have the luck to find these kinds of plays. And maybe it wasn't a luck play. Maybe there's a lot going on with this company. A lot of people in on it, or just believing in it. A lot of good DD coming out about it. A lot of things going on. It's not something I've really followed too closely, so I would have never, unless I hopped on the Reddit bandwagon of whoever was talking about it previously, I probably wouldn't have hopped in. But if you're in here, hopefully if you're in here, you are doing well. Congratulations. Let's go back to the this whole chart that I was looking at for the tops for the day. So we recognize that one. Let's see if there's anything else I recognize before we go over to Ortex. Smith & Wesson. I don't follow their stock, but that's interesting. Okay, and then let's go over to the losers for the 1 day. See if there's anything I recognize. No. All right. Oh, Super League Gaming. I do recognize Super League Gaming. Down 12% on the day. No worries. Okay, recently viewed. All right, let's go over. Let's go back to AMC. Let's go over to the browser. Let's take a look at good old Ortex. Let's check GameStop first before we go to AMC, because I know GameStop had a pretty down day too. I'm curious to know if they were, what their numbers look like. Short interest changed. It looks like the short interest went down a little bit today. And as far as the what is it called? So short interest went down. Short interest of free float is at 14.31%, which is very, very high. The borrow change has also barely gone down. 67, we'll call it 68,000 shares. Really not too crazy. These numbers are still extremely good for GameStop. I wonder what the shares on loan. We should have shares on loan here. On loan, and shares on loan has gone down. When was this? January. So that makes sense. So since January it did go down, and it's kind of been holding. That's interesting. Hasn't really gone up recently, I guess. Not much, at least, since January. Where's my shares on loan? 11 million. And the current is 9 million. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, this is the on loan. The red one. All right, well, it is what it is. Let's take a look at AMC. All right. So AMC shares on loan going way up right here. Let's see how it looks over here. 153 million. Well, there you have it. Shares on loan was extremely high previously, so currently at 90 million shares. This has gone up since recent. Down here was 78 million, looks like it touched. Currently at 90 million, which is, either way, even 70 million is extremely high, just ridiculously high, right? So it's looking very good. Short interest has gone up 4% on the day, right? Today was a heavily shorted day, or I guess if these are T+2, it would have been 2 days ago was heavily shorted. Or no, this is today's changes, so never mind, sorry. So these changes up for today are should be up to date since Monday, so since today at 7 a.m. Eastern. And current short interest at 14.29%, which is fantastic. I think this went down to 11.04%, and we're all the way back up. So this is great. Borrow change. So this is saying that these guys borrowed more shares. 4.37 million shares were borrowed today. That's a change. Sorry. So this is how many were returned. This is how many were borrowed. This is the change. So a difference of 4.37 million of a change, which is high. That's a pretty good amount. Over 4 million shares were borrowed today on net shares. Extremely high. This is crazy stuff. Let me catch up on the chat a little bit. I forgot that I'm completely ignoring you guys. Oh yes, NSCC 002. So let's pull up NSCC 002 here. And actually we'll pull it up on the DTCC filings as well, so we can take a look. But as you can see here on page, it usually tells the page. Ooh, this is interesting. Really frustrating to see misinformation on the sub. Now enforce margin calls. Okay, so we'll see exactly what it does. We can pull it up really quick and see what happened. But it is approved, so keep in mind that I think it was rule 006 that had passed previously. What we learned is that one allows, whenever these get approved, then they are approved in the like same day or whatever, right? Because what their thought process, reasoning behind it was that whenever it's filed, that is enough time for institutions to make their necessary changes to comply with the rules. This way, whenever it is approved, it is enacted immediately, right? And we'll look into that one a little bit in just a second. I do want to take a look at Twitter or text because I forgot to take a look at that. I want to see if they had any interesting information on there. And then I also want to take a look at Matt Core's or text to talk about his stuff as well, or Matt Core's Twitter to talk about his as well. So Torchlight, now they brought Torchlight into the mix. If you're interested in Torchlight, we can read this really quick. I'm really not interested in talking too much about Torchlight. Here's the deal. People are gonna say, you guys know the drill. People are gonna say it's a distraction. People are gonna hop over. People are gonna do this, do that. I'm not moving my position. For me, it is not worth it for me to try and chase Torchlight whenever I'm in my position and I feel good about my position, right? There's no reason at all that I personally am gonna be switching. If you wanna try and switch and chase it, keep in mind it's extremely risky. Like I said, I'm not going to do it, but manage your risk, manage your life, is what I'll say. So it looks like the company has a short interest is 24.66% of the free float, which is extremely high. And that's that. AMC short interest is currently up. So this is only 12 hours ago. So no updates today. I guess we'll just read this, which we've already seen. But keep in mind, this morning, the free float, the estimated short interest of the free float was 13.64%. We're currently at 14.29%. So obviously this fluctuates a lot, right? This fluctuates a whole lot. So keep that in mind. Oh yeah, we were going to take a look at Matt Core's. Oh, okay. Matt Core's was not properly tagged here. What's this thing? There he is. Okay. Okay, so he said... So this is what's interesting. So he did a tweet. He said 002, NSCC 002 is hereby approved on an accelerated basis, which is what we saw in the official filing here. And we'll pull up that filing here in just a second. But he says this rule will go into effect Wednesday, June 23rd, which is, this Wednesday, which I thought was very interesting because if it was going to do effect today or whatever, then wouldn't it have already, with this new 006, if it was approved today, it should have gone in. I thought it should have gone into effect today. That's what I would have believed. And that's the $1 million question, right? Well, I guess the $1 million question, I see a lot of people asking this. Specifically, I'm reading Mike's right now. Mike says, yes, but is it going to be enforced? That's a little tray. What the heck? And I don't know if I can recognize this person unless it's Matt. There's a little tray. So anyways, I'm not sure why he's saying that. Let's actually pull up the filings. DTCC filings. This is interesting. This looks relatively new. Modify the DTC. So this is what it does. It modifies the DTC settlement service guide and the form of DTC's pledgees agreement. Ooh, this is actually pretty interesting. This one is pretty interesting. I might have to take a look at that. Maybe we'll take a look at that in just a second. And let's see if I can find 002. No, it's NSCC 002 right here. Boom, approved for this date. Boom. So this is the release date for today. Let's go ahead and open it really quick and see what it does. So proposal, the purpose. Okay, so the NSCC is proposing, okay, to enhance its management of the liquidity risks that arise in or are borne by it. So let's see what this born actually means. Past principle of bear. Carried or transported by, okay, so man, I keep getting notifications. 801 is up. Oh my gosh, we'll have to check 801 as well. I think 801 has been up. We'll take a look though. Okay, so let's take a look here. Or born by calculating and collecting when applicable. SLD, I forgot what SLD was. SLD's right here. Supplemental liquidity deposits, right? On each business day rather than only, okay, so when applicable, supplementary liquidity deposits on each business day rather than only in advance of options, expiration week or expiration activity periods. The proposed changes would establish an intraday, liquidity deposit obligation that would apply in advance of option. So anyways, money's going quicker. I'm trying to figure out if there's a super easy way to explain this, but it's so long-winded. There's so many dang words in here that big words. And then the verbiage, just the way it has to be, and just has to be laid out in a specific way. This way people can like walk through it so it's foolproof, right? Because certain words, how do I say this? Certain words are more encompassing than others, right? You can say, yes, I will do it soon, right? And soon is relative, right? Soon is not I'm going to we're going to the moon soon is not a very good thing, especially whenever it comes to this, right? Going to the moon soon, hey, that sounds great. But whenever it's coming to stuff like this, you can't say certain words because they, it has to be a little more concrete, a little more specific. Whenever you're, this is how these loopholes get created whenever they're not being clear enough or specific enough. And that's where you run into these issues. There is a, what is that thing called? Let me see if I can get this pulled up here. Resources. Balance rating 204. I really can't believe I did not say that post. Save that post. There's a post that kind of breaks all these down in super layman's terms. I don't know if I made a video on this, but I have to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue over here. So that's what's going on here. We did see that it was approved for today. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, this is a different one right here. And I was also got a message about, see, May 4th was when 801 was approved. This one, I think this one's been approved for a while. I'm not sure, but I think this was before 006. So it might have taken a little bit longer in order to make that actually approved. Let's see over here if we have approval. Or like an activation date or whatever it would be. A proposed change may be implemented in less than 60 days. Oh, okay, that's just kind of the filing. I'm not trying to waste a lot of y'all's time just trying to read through these. I'm gonna have to go through and kind of break them down. I think I have videos on some of these, but I'm not trying to waste y'all's time trying to decipher them right now and do a poor job at it at that. So I'll see if I can find the what the different filings are and stuff. I wonder if I can find 002 in AMC stock and see if there's a list of anything. Oh my gosh. Automated margin call. Yeah, I can't find the full list of those, so that's okay. I'm gonna kind of let it be for now. But I did find that the one thing I am confused about is Matt Core saying this about Wednesday, June 23rd. That's the one thing I'm really not too sure about. I wonder if we can click in here and say why, and see if they say why it would take a few days. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here that's super helpful, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Let me catch up on the chat really quick. I've been neglecting you guys, and then we'll go ahead and get back to it. You are blurry. Am I actually blurry? Because I put the camera on 1080p. That's the one thing I did do. It really shouldn't be so blurry. How is Texas? Texas is fantastic. I just went to Houston for the weekend, but I'm back in San Antonio now. People buy for their merging. Oh, both take it. So Beverly says, so 002 ruling goes into effect as well as 801. They both go into effect on Wednesday. Go to the DTCC website. So that's the only thing that I am confused about, like I mentioned, because I really don't see anything in here. You know, I'm obviously on the website, but I don't see anything saying that they would go into effect Wednesday, because this one right here has the, I guess, the federal release. Let me see if I click on the actual release here about when it would be in effect. Let's see if there's anything about 23. And the reason I say 23 is for Wednesday, but I don't see anything here about Wednesday. But you know what? People seem to be very confident on Wednesday. I unfortunately, like I said, I'm just not finding where Wednesday is coming from. But you know, Matt Kors he does this all day, every day. He's actually on, you know, his stream all day, every day, just kind of going through this stuff and understanding it and reading through it. It's his full-time job, so you know, hopefully he has a good rhyme or reason. However, Trey, he said it was approved, but I guess he didn't say when it was enacted, so that's all right. If I need to wait until Wednesday, I've been waiting 6 months, so if I, you know, 7 months, whatever, I've been waiting a long time, since December, January. So if I can wait this long, I can wait a little longer, no problem. If it's Wednesday, cool. If it's a month from now Wednesday, cool again. I don't mind at all. I'm holding. At the end of the day, Fire says, I got $2,000 to gamble, your choice. Fire, I really can't tell you where to put that money. You know, I will say, just make sure you can take care of yourself. If it truly is $2,000 to just do whatever you want, you're gonna throw it all on red, then you know what? Pick your favorite, right? I think most people in here probably like AMC. I like AMC. Oh, last page, my guy. Thank you. We'll go to the last page. And so, someone's on my front door. What was I saying? My choice, right? So I personally, I've done the DD. I like AMC a whole lot personally. People say GameStop is in a good position. Torchlight is obviously running. So pick your favorite, and that's what I'll say. I really can't tell you what to do, but you know, I have my favorite. So conclusion, here we go. Thank you so much, Smooth. I didn't even notice that was you. Last page. Okay, so we're on the last page here. It is there for, I'm trying to find the exact day here. So okay, last page here. So conclusion on the basis. So they're under, therefore it is ordered that proposed rule change modified by this for 002 is approved on an accelerated basis. Yes, so I do see here accelerated basis, and I don't know. Well, accelerated basis, we'll take it. That sounds great to me. Thank you. Search for money, display. Steven says I've lost 50% from crypto. AMC got me back. Dang. Yeah, crypto has been weird, right? It's been a real, I think it'll bounce back, honestly. I think just right now it's kind of a weird market. There's a lot of different things going on with the inflation and so on and so forth. But I'm sure it'll bounce back. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. PC says, Corey, I just signed in. I bought more shares and I'm slightly worried. How much of a chance do you see this is going to crash? I have almost 5,000 shares. Don't want to lose more. Don't want to lose more money. PC, here's the deal. Again, I will say manage your risk, right? Do what you need to do. But I do like the stock. I am really convinced. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Imagine if you had if I always go back to this example, but this is kind of the situation I personally feel I'm in, right? If I went to a gas station and said, hey, we have these new lottery tickets, right? New lottery tickets. If you put in, instead of, if you pay $30, right? Or if you pay $100, you have a 30% chance to win $1 million, right? You think I would freaking play that lottery? Abso-freaking-lutely, right? And a 30% chance that this is going to work out. Would you play the lottery for that amount of money, right? Or you say, hey, for $100, there's a 20% chance that this card is going to be worth $100,000, right? Are you in? And that's would you play or not? Right. That's what you have to think. So that's kind of, well, not you have to think, but that's kind of how I think about this, right? In my personal opinion, that's how my odds kind of feel. And I think that it's even with bigger percentages, right? With each percentage, I get more bullish. Keep in mind, like at $2 for me personally, it's a no-brainer, right? I think at the end of this year, this stock is going to be worth more than $2, right? This was back in December, January time. Do I think it's going to be worth more than that? Yeah, I really did, and I really do. And so far, I seem to be right. So far so good. Now, as the percentage goes up, it's like, okay, well, how much more steam is left in this thing? And that's a decision you're going to have to make. For me, I think that it is, right? I think it is going to be me personally, this is no financial advice, by the way. I like it, right? Even if it goes down, and we talked about this, I guess you missed my topic of conversation, but for me, 42, is a solid level of support. It could go all the way down to $42. And I'll hold. It can go below $42 and I'll hold, because that's how much I believe in it. The numbers are getting better as well, right? These Ortex numbers are getting higher and higher and higher. It did dip a little bit, which is fine. And it dipped. We saw a run, and now they're coming back up. And I think that we're going to see another run very, very, very soon. And I just don't want to miss it. These new filings are being approved. We've been waiting for these two for a long, long, long time, for months. And 801 passed, but apparently we needed 002 as well. And now these need to be enacted. And then there's still the question of, do these filings, do they need to be, are they ran automatically? Do they need to say, hey, we're going to investigate this person, we're going to run it through? And so there's a few different questions that I just want to confirm, because, I think I did do the DD. I think I have videos on these, but it's been a while. I need to refresh myself on how these exactly are going to work, or if maybe it wasn't mentioned, and that's why I'm having a hard time remembering these. So there's a few different things going on, but I feel very confident in, I'm going to actually, I'll do this one right here, and then I'll give it a highlight so we can look at the numbers that we're looking at. But, and we'll look at the borrowed change. Well, yeah, that's fine. We'll leave it as is. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. That's what we're looking at, but you're gonna have to make some decisions for yourself. I will not be shaken. I added, you guys have no idea, I added to my position on Friday. Let's put it this way. I had a video that came out, and I added 4 times what that video was. to my position 4 times, whatever that video was. And I think it was 4 times. And I'm in, right now on that specific position, I'm down, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem being down in that position because I feel like in the end of the day, it's going to pay off. DTCC file in effect. Let me pull the Discord. Thank you, Smooth. Smooth sent me the Discord link for this. All right, great. Let's see. Oh gosh. All right. Oh gosh, I touched it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it looks like this is from the official DTCC.com website. Let's make sure that that is the... Yep, so DTCC.com is the official website. So I just wanted to make sure that domain was legit. And so it does say the SEC, the SEC has approved the proposal. It will be in effect at the start of day Wednesday. Start of day Wednesday. So that means Wednesday morning. So I feel, man, that's actually pretty interesting. I'm very interested in that. With that, it actually makes me pretty bullish. I'm curious to know what the positions are looking like for options, because you know what? A lot of people think about playing options. They want to get into options. And you know what? I wonder if this is the time, and the reason why I say that is because if you want to get into options for this Friday, if you got in, and again, options are very risky. Know what you're doing before you do anything. But this $46 bet, right, can get you some serious gains for $46. If you think this is going to start the squeeze, and if by Friday we're going to be over $145, this might be the play for you. Because if we were to hit, let's say we hit 160, at 160 you just made $1,400 on your $46 bet, right? If it hits it by Friday, just to be clear with that. So it's very risky, but you know what? This is how a lot of these options, look how many people are in on this. People think it's worth it, right? This is 5 million shares, 50,000 contracts times 100 per, 100 shares per contract. But either way, just worry about the contracts. 50,000 contracts, almost 51. I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow this is 51,000 with this many contracts, especially with the news about 002 and all that good stuff, right? So just keep that in mind. That is insane. Excuse me. Thank you, Smooth. Looks like some people got messed up on stop orders. Never got as low as my price, but it got sold. Then the price went higher. Yeah, so be careful with those stop loss orders, right, guys? These stop losses, they'll get you, and I feel like they're meant to get you. You know what I mean? You get knocked out, and then they bring it back. I mean, what did it drop from here? Let's say you were in here, it went from 37 down to 21. Your stop loss triggers, and then you miss it for the day or whatever, or you're happy that you got out, right? You're happy you got out. Now you're out down here, you got out, we'll call it at 25 or something, sure. And next day, now you have to buy in at 30. And if you wait for a retracement, you know, maybe you'll get it at 29 or even 26 or 28. But you know what, if you don't buy in because you're hoping it's going to dip more, and now, you know, your last chance was to get in at 28 and you waited because you're hoping for more of a dip so you can get back in at 25, well, guess what, you're out of there. You're out of there. And then who knows what it's going to do, right? Because let's say it starts to run up. Let's say this kept running, right? Let's say, and then it kept running. And now the retracement, let's say it's at $50, and now you're out, you know, or the retracement's at $70, you got out at 25. So that's why I'm so careful. I don't have stop loss orders for that reason. I'm too much FOMO. I'd rather ride the dips and buy the dips rather than lose my position and get out when I don't want to actually get out, right? And FOMO back in at the wrong time. It's a huge mess, or it could turn into a huge mess. And I'd rather not risk it, which is why I just hold, right? Because theoretically, yeah, you know, in hindsight, it's 2020. Oh, should I have sold at 27 and bought? You know, sure, sell at 27, buy here at 41, sell here, buy here. You know what I mean? Like, but you don't know which way it's going to go, and I'm not willing to risk it at all. I'd rather not. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. Just getting caught up on the chat. 1 second. Check your, thank you for Wednesday. Bob, yeah, Bob, we found it here. We see it here. I guess you sent me the actual link for it. Oh gosh, am I gonna be able to find this? I wonder, let's try this. We'll try this, but no, I see it here. See some replies. I don't know how to find this like that. I'll have to log in and stuff. But no, yeah, we found it here. We saw the photo right here. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and continue. Activity. Right here. We're going to continue with this, continue with that. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look-see and see what's going on. So we had those, we had these. Let's talk about these really quick, right? Hyping dates. To all of you hyping dates. And now, you know, here's the deal. I'm all for excitement. I'm all for, you know, micro goals, right? I want micro goals. I want people to say, okay, I'm looking forward to this date for XYZ. Today's the perfect example, right? I'm looking forward to today for NSCC 002. Great, it passed. Guess what happened? We were down 6%. Okay. And so this is why I just want people to be careful with these dates, because, you know, we saw this. We saw the excitement for NSCC 002 today. And granted, you know, I don't think anyone really shielded themselves that I know of. But, you know, luckily with apes out there looking more into these things, like, for example, that post that we just saw with the email saying, look, it is actually on Wednesday when it goes into effect, right? Now, Wednesday. So there we go. Now we have another date, right? So today it really didn't go the way we wanted it to, but that's okay. Now we have to look forward to Wednesday, right? But the reason I really don't try to shill anybody, but I want people to be aware of what is about what's going on, right? And so what is going on is just what's going on with these dates. So if you never know what's going to happen, I'm just saying some crazy stuff. I'm just going to proceed. So just be careful with dates is what I'm saying, right? And I just wanted to keep that in mind. And so one point that I've been pointing out, but I wanted to triple down on is this right here. This sub is public. They can see, right? This person did say, look how your date hyping, causes the hedges to mess us up more. And this is probably obviously for 002. And I just keep that in mind. We're all excited for it. We know they're in the subreddit. Why wouldn't they be in the subreddit? It wouldn't make any sense for them not to be in the subreddit, right? I can't even blame them for being in the subreddits. And you there's no way you can either, right? Yeah. So anyways, if you hype the Monday, if you hype up that Monday, I don't know which Monday they're talking about, but I guess they're talking about I don't know if they're talking about today or what, but they will do everything to make sure we get a negative 10% for the paper hands. Hyping specific dates is hurting us. So I just wanted to bring that up. Here's the deal. Am I hyped up on dates? Absolutely. I feel bad sometimes because whenever a date comes out, I try to shill you guys a little bit, in a kind way, where I just say, hey, keep in mind that dates are this, right? Think about the SSR rule, right? Short sale rule, SSR. We see that, we're on the SSR. What happens? I think it's only worked out for us one day being on the SSR. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you're looking at dates and keeping them just tempering your expectations is what I'll say. And that's it. I'm really not trying to bring anyone down. I just want people to know, like, hey, dates don't always work out as is. Remember the triple witching, all those other things. Okay. So keep that, or quadruple witching. Keep that in mind. So that response is just on point. So let's see. I'm really confused, Trey. They're losing. Why are they still doing this? And actually, I really like this. So they said, if you were walking to the electric chair, you'd walk slowly too, right? If you were walking to the electric chair, you'd walk slowly too. Now, that's a good point, right? Because I have this conversation basically every single day at work. Maybe not every single day, but I have it way too often at work, right? Why would they keep shorting if they're down so much? Why do they keep shorting if they're continuing to lose? Why do they keep shorting if XYZ, yada, yada, yada? I get these questions all the time. And frankly, I just don't have a good answer for it other than, they're stuck. I really think they're stuck. I think this is their, I say their last hurrah. And while I mean that, last hurrah sounds like it's, I don't know what it sounds like, but last hurrah sounds like, it should have been a short last hurrah, right? They try to scare us on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday it runs up, right? It doesn't really do it justice, I don't think, but that's what I think. I don't know. That's just my personal thoughts on it. I think they're stuck, and they'd rather pay a few billion to keep it. And yes, that's billion with a B. I think they'd rather pay a few $1 billion to try and do their last hurrah before it runs up, because whenever it runs up, they'd rather try and spend 10 billion, 20 billion, whatever it's costed them so far, rather than spending, 1 trillion or, 100 billion that it is going to cost them, right? Because at that point, what's 10 billion or whatever it is at this point compared to 100 billion? It's a big difference. And if they, so at 100 billion, what's the difference between 100 billion and 110 billion or whatever it is if they're unsuccessful, right? And so that it's probably, again, it's hedging their risk, basically. Maybe not hedging, but it's managing their risk. They might as well try and do that. Actually, I see Black Udon, they're betting on getting bailed out. For all I know, they are trying to go deeper in the hole, so they do have to get bailed out. And I really don't know how that would work for them. Like, for example, if they're able to, for all I know, they're able to like hide the money in somewhere, right, where the government are allowed to touch some funds, but they're not allowed to touch other funds. For example, if they were to say, hey, we're just going to pay all this money into people's 401ks, hey, we're going to give ourselves huge bonuses so that whenever we get bailed out, they can't retract our bonuses, right? Whereas if you, let's say you bought, for example, if you bought a bunch of land, right? If you bought a bunch of land, you say, hey, we're going to build a building. Well, the government, if they say, no, you have to sell that land, like you're not going through with that transaction, you have to cancel that transaction or sell that property at a loss. This way, you can recoup those costs and give it to us, and then we'll bail you out, or they'll take the land. Who knows? I really don't know what happens in that kind of scenario, but I really think that's what's trying to happen, right? Something like that. It really doesn't make sense. Game Nub says they're probably trying to get people to jump ship. I agree with that. Trying to delay it as long as possible. We did see, a smaller YouTube channel that was pretty popular though, get fatigued, right? Get fatigued, gets tired. And realistically, he saw the other plays, and are there other plays happening? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There was Torchlight that happened today, went up 50%. AMC was down 6%. There's always those plays. But again, I always go back to, would you have caught those plays? I would not have caught those plays at all. There's no way I would have caught any of those plays. And I'm very lucky to have caught AMC, and I'm going to stick with it, right? I'm going to hold. I know the DD, and I feel good about it. Matt Kramer says the government won't bail them out. Matt, I do have two theories on this. First theory is, right, they won't get bailed out, and they'll be made an example of. And I think I think the apes would really love that. But, option number two is... if they do get bailed out, I mean, there could be so many reasons as to why they would be bailed out. Remember, some of these institutions are very large. Citadel, from my understanding, is extremely large, one of the biggest. And I don't know what they hold in their hands, right? You have to keep in mind that these kinds of institutions, they could hold people's 401ks, they could hold this and that, and some of their ins and outs are a lot more, maybe more nuanced or maybe harder to understand than people think, right? And we've seen that. I think I may be mistaken, but I think even in The Wolf of Wall Street, they did tactics. If you watch the movie, they had I think they were being investigated by the SEC or whatever. And they couldn't find anything. They didn't know what to look for. They didn't know what was going on. They did their best, but you know what? They couldn't find anything. And on top of that, and they made they kind of put them in a cold room and stuff like that, which is funny. But oh gosh, Eric knows. It is what it is. So they may not know exactly what to look for, right? And are they? I don't know how the systems are. For example, let's say I have a 401k and it's managed by Citadel or something, and Citadel goes out of business, and now, I mean, I guess they could just transfer the 401k. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad example. I really don't know. But who knows what can happen for that would justify the government bailing them out or what, right? In my opinion, I think the government would probably want a bunch of apes paying taxes rather than these big companies like Amazon or whatever not paying taxes, or who knows what if the hedge funds pay taxes or what. But yeah, that's what I think. Danby says, if I was Kenny, I ain't going down unless I have nothing left. What kind of person just gives up to lose, especially when you have billions of dollars? I ain't going down, so I have nothing left. Yeah, here's the deal. Also, you have to keep in mind, I'm not sure what, what's that guy's name? What, Kenny G. I'm not sure what his his positions are. I mean, his positions are how many shares he has in the company or whatever, if he has shares, or how his wealth is accumulated, right? But it's not his money, right? In that it's other people's money, right? In the actual company. So here's the deal. I'm sure he doesn't want the company to go under and stuff, but I don't know. We could speculate all day on all the different reasons why they have not covered, right? There could be so many different reasons as to why they haven't covered, and it's ridiculous. It's just not right. It's not right. Hopefully it all plays out the way the apes hopes it plays out. I mean, in some things, and granted, I'm sure there are some things that we don't fully understand that would be bad for the economy, but hopefully everything just works out without completely ruining and crashing the economy, unless it was fixed. Actually, David Lauer, he had an interview. I think it was with Kim Lee Kim. Oh my gosh, the girl from CNBC, the naked shorting girl. And Kim Lee, something like that. Sorry. So I believe she interviewed David Lauer. David Lauer was a Citadel employee back a long time ago. I think he was a whistleblower or something. And he actually said, if you were to rebuild, ask anyone, if they were to rebuild I think the market structure or something like that, they said they wouldn't build it a different way. It's old, it's outdated. And, unfortunately, that might be something that needs to happen in order to build it the right way, correctly, right? Melissa Lee, thank you. What did I get Kim from? I always get Kim. Maybe I think of like Kimberly or something, but thank you, Melissa Lee. So Melissa Lee, yeah, he was on there, and he kind of went over that, and he said people wouldn't build it the same way. People would build it a different way. And David Lee, you guys are just throwing out random names just like I am. And so yeah, it would be built a different way. And even in the congressional hearings, I think it was actually, I forgot where I was going with that. I think Gary Gensler, I think he said, no, it might not have been him. Someone was talking about blockchain, right? That's what Babalas. I think I'm saying the Power Ranger. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I'm messing up, Kimberly. Oh my gosh. What the heck am I saying now? Oh yeah, someone said, blockchain, right? Because how we have T+2, T+ whatever. From my understanding, the way they were kind of explaining it in the congressional hearings is the blockchain would actually allow for it to be a lot faster, right? That you don't need T+2, you don't need T+. It would just be settled instantly if you do it through blockchain. Now granted, it's like saying, oh yeah, you just put it in an algorithm, or yeah, you just artificial intelligence, right? Just machine learning really quick. People just say it, and it's not that easy. I'm very sure it's not that easy, but yeah. So keep that in mind whenever we're looking at these things. We could speculate all day, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Let's continue here. So I thought this is pretty funny. Two completely different stocks that are identical, nothing to see here. And it's just funny to see these stocks just kind of moving the exact same way, both down 7.21% on the day, or at one point, I suppose, on the day. It's just funny to see this kind of stuff, just because it's just funny to see. This person says they're shorting the ETFs. This is the most popular post on here. The package of shares with GME and AMC. This will end once GME leaves us for the Russell 1000. We'll see if that's true. Not too sure if it is or not. I wanted to continue scrolling down here and seeing if there was anything else that Corey Lee. What's up, Chris? Jet Lee. You guys are clever. Brenda Lee. Let's see. AMC. We saw the same behavior in multiple. Here we go. Here we go. I always forget how to pronounce it. Wrench Capital. We saw this same behavior in multiple other channels down. right around $10 prior to big breakouts. Nothing has changed. I'd agree with that. Let's see what James says right here. James says, honestly, if you sell AMC at this point with all the DD, with all the math, the FTDs, the implemented rules, the short interest continuing to rise, and all these apes motivating you not to paper hand, you don't deserve this. This is why I freaking hold, right? Guys, like, you know, and again, make your own decisions, blah, blah, blah. But look, like, this is why it's so easy for me to hold. I know the DD. I've seen them. While I'm too smooth brained to do the math myself, I've seen the DD for the math. I've seen the failure to delivers. I'm watching these rules be implemented. They removed the freaking thing, the parameter that says the rules have to be implemented. Because before, I think it was like 10 days or whatever. Typically, they removed the days. They just said it's approved and it's active. It's so crazy. They removed that. The short interest is going back up, right? It went down a little bit. We freaking skyrocketed, and then it went back down, no problem. And then, you know, all this good stuff. And then, you know, the apes are continuing, you know, while I appreciate the I guess I consider some of these posts like, you know, motivation and stuff. But, you know, the DD is more my motivation, right? And I guess at this point, we all know the DD, right? Unless you're absolutely new, people know the DD. And watching the DD, you know, and knowing it is so much motivation for me. It's just so easy to hold whenever I'm aware of what's going on and I believe in it, right? Now, if you're looking at the DD and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is true, then that's a different thing. That's a different story. But for me, like, I believe in it. I believe in it. Let's see what else we have. Perfect fact check to start the week off strong. The return of movie theaters. The return of movie theaters. 91% of moviegoers feel blockbusters must be seen on the big screen. 87% say movie-going experience cannot be duplicated at home. Now, granted, please, if you ever take anything with a grain of salt, please take, and keep in mind, this, I believe this is all positive for us, but keep in mind the moviegoers are a specific kind of breed, right? Well, and I guess that makes sense, right? I guess that does put a little more weight into this, because if you're going to the movies, then you're probably being interviewed by these people. And if you're going to the movies, then you're probably going to continue to go to the movies if you feel this strongly. So I'd say this is good stuff. I was going to try to speak against it just to give it an alternative thought process, but I do like this. This makes a lot of sense to me. And I'd agree with it, right? Like, going to the movies is a whole experience, and you know who you are, right? If you like going to the movies, that's your thing, right? I know people who don't like to go to the movies, and I don't get it. I can't. Like, I love going to the movies, right? Going to the movies is such a fun experience. Me and my fiance loves going to the freaking movies. And she didn't really care about it too much, I don't think, before me, but now it's our thing, right? We go to the movies, we like hang out. It's so cool. It's so much fun. All right, let's see what this person's saying here. This looks like it might be interesting. Predicting some, so I don't know who this person is, but we'll just see their thoughts, sentiment, and then we'll just kind of break it down. So, I saw somebody say, so I did miss that the market closed 21 minutes ago. We did close down 0.16% on the day, which is fine by me. Cool, sounds good. Not bad at all in the after hours, down 6% on the day. Does it feel great? No. Am I gonna sell? No. I'm good to go. Look at this. This is actually looking pretty dang nicely around here. And you know what? Let me see. And I don't want to do this, but if I were to do this, I wonder where I would do it at. See, I feel like we could do it like that, but realistically, I probably would have gone like this, and this is still pretty bullish, right? If I were to go this way, let me see if I can bring this out a little bit and respect it. You know what? We'll bring this like that. And we'll respect this right here, and we'll hold that, right? Because realistically, like, this broke through. I suppose I could like bring it out here like this a little bit. It kind of feels like I'm cheating, but it still works, right? Still a bull flag. Like I said, you know, I consider all of this in here consolidation. Even a little more microscopically, you can see this has been going up, right? Look, higher highs and higher lows. This goes here all the way up to here. Just looking good. Just solid movement microscopically here too, right? Just looking so good. So I feel good about this, guys. Like, I feel very good. I'm loving this consolidation. I really thought that we were going to break below $50 last week, especially toward the end of the week on Friday. I was pleasantly surprised whenever we didn't break below. I was ready to, and again, I'm ready to hold. I kind of show myself like that on purpose. And the reason I do it is because you know, I'm not going to hold. I'm not going to sell. And just getting myself prepared, like, you know what, I thought this was going to happen. If every day you thought to yourself it's going to be a down day today, it's going to be down, you'll never be disappointed, right? And if it does go up, hey, this is fantastic. I thought it was going to be down today. I don't know, just some crazy stuff, right? This is just my crazy thought process. GameStop is an absolute mess over here as far as technical analysis. I mean, kind of dip down here. Realistically, we're in I'm still looking at it a little more microscopically. I'm very curious to know what's going to happen the next few days, just because from a technical analysis standpoint, I would not be surprised if it kind of filled these areas over here. And I'm looking at these areas over here, which is why I'm pointing at it over here. But anyways, so I'm wondering if it is going to fill these gaps right here. But it would be very nice if it bounced back and kind of recovered. I wouldn't be surprised if it went down to like 180 range around there, unless it finds some kind of level of support around this, you know, between 190 and 180 range. If it does find a nice level of support and holds, then I'm going to wait for Wednesday. And I'm curious to see if that does have any kind of effect on what happens on Wednesday, right? If it does hold strongly on Wednesday, then that could be great, right? Or if we see a huge run on Wednesday, that could be even better. But for now, I'm just going to hold, sit tight, and hope that something happens. I'm going to see if I have an extra, and I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to see if I have an extra $50 lying around, and I'm going to see if I can get in on this before the end of the week, because you know what? $50 for what might happen by Friday. This can be a pretty good bet if it works out. If it doesn't work out, I mean, $50 is a lot of money. That's a whole share. But if it does work out, man, that can be some nice little tendies, right? What's your time frame? So Civic, I do play it very slowly. Realistically, I'm looking at these different levels of support and resistance. I'm really not looking at an exact time frame. If I had to choose a time frame, I've always liked before September. Has always been my the whole time, like, has always been my goal, right? Before September. Trey's Trades, he did release a video saying that he thinks it's probably going to look like a little more like Tesla, right? And if you're not familiar with Tesla, how their chart looks, let's take a look at it really quick. Look at a 1 year, and realistically, so this would have been the end of the run, right? So if you're looking at it at a 1 year, it's a long road, right? From $42 down here, 35. Let's see when it goes back up. So, you know, if you wanted to start it around, you know, $41, like, this is a long time coming. And look, it's going to run up. Look at this, from 41 went all the way to 190, back down to 62. Right, shaking all the paper hands, stop losses, all the good stuff. And then look at this, ran all the way up here, right? 500. Okay, great. Is it over? Nope. Keeps going. Like, we'll look at it from this angle, right? Just huge ups and downs and ups and downs and every which way in between, right? And this was over the course of, you know, this is a long time. And if you wanted to do it from here, from March 18th, you know, you could start it from right here. And remember, this is when COVID happened, right? This is COVID. This is the beginning of COVID. And, you know, starting here and then running up, right? So if you wanted to do it there, I could zoom in just a tad. See if I can get it like this. Where's COVID? Right here. And here's where COVID started. Oh, no, where's COVID? Back here. March 18th, right here. So here's COVID. Come on, buddy. there we go. Here's the beginning of COVID right here. And here's kind of the run. So this was so from 3 to 1. So that's, oh my gosh, math is hard. What the heck? 3 to 1. So it went all the way almost a full year, 10 months. So that's 10 months that I think, wait, 11, 12, 13, 10 months. Yeah, I can math. So 10 months it took for this to happen, right? For it to have this kind of movement. And you know what? It's some of these are a little scarier than others, but that is why I'm going to have my floor, right? I'm going to have my floor, let it run up, let it run up. Look, these are nice. And granted, you know, if you were to look at this, these are the day candles. If you looked at it intraday, you know, I'm sure it's a little scary. Even this little microscopic one right here, I'm sure it was a little bit scary because it went from 144 all the way to 177 back down to 134. And I'm sure this is very scary microscopically. But in the scheme of things, it didn't even matter. It's a drop in the bucket, right? A drop in the bucket. And, you know, being ready for these kinds of moves from 269 to 500 to 324, right? These are big moves that people need to be ready to hold or whatever they're going to do with it during this time, you know. And this is more, and you know, I said it, well, what did I say before? I said I would love to see something like this. I've always said I would love to see some kind of slow, steady movement like this. Yes, it took a long time, but you know what? This is great. And keep in mind, their short interest, I think it was like 5% or something. It was nothing. I believe, I think that was accurate, but from my understanding, it was not that long. But you know, I'm just going to continue to hold and wait out weather the storm. I'm going to weather the storm and see what happens. Ford, just doing the absolute most over here. I keep looking at Ford and I'm losing my dang mind. This stock is going nuts. Is this March 18th? Yeah. So March 18th right here, a low of 360 or 396, and then just going nuts. These are the kind of stocks where if you have options, these options pay money. These options pay, and this is a perfect kind of stock where you want to do a leap in, right? So at this point, you'd be looking for maybe January or something, and then you just get it just out of the money. And let's say, you know, by the end of this year, if it's at, you know, $30 or something, you made some serious money. Off of your $179 bet, you just made $1,300 or whatever. So keep that in mind. I really like options a lot. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to be holding. Cheryl says, do you think 002 will help AMC this week? I do think it's going to help. I mean, well, it's hard to say, right? I think it'll be great, but I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket, right? And I guess what I mean to say that, right? Like, no, this is FUD. Sorry to say, January. Robert, I'm not sure when you bought in, my friend, how long you've been holding, but you know, people are seeming to be pretty scared about holding for a long time. And anyone, I'll put it this way. Anyone who is scared to hold for, where's Tesla at? If anyone is scared to hold for 12 months for what is this percentage? Like, well, let's say it's at $100 for, we'll call it 1,000% gain, even though it's higher. If anyone is scared to hold 12 months for a potential 1,000% gain on your stocks, then you are a shill. You're FUD. You need to go do something else, because if you ask anyone, would you hold 12 months for a good possibility of a 100% gain, then if they say no, then they have a smoother brain than anything, right? That brain is too smooth for their own good. If you told me, Corey, you have to hold 12 months and you might get a 500% gain. You know, there's a 60% chance you'll get a 500. Worst case scenario, you're going to get a 300% gain. Best case scenario is going to be 10,000% gain. If I don't freaking hold that, then honestly, I have some serious, like, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at statistics. I don't understand anything. And I don't understand the market, right? Because if you were to, I don't know, ask any trader, any seasoned trader, right? Ask any seasoned trader what they would be happy to earn year over year, you know, on a good year, what they would be happy to earn, and ask them, see what they say. I'm not even going to prompt a response. Ask them, say, hey, what, and just be genuine, right? And I would love, if anyone does that, come in here and let me know. I'd be curious to know what they say, right? And you know, hopefully maybe they do say, hey, actually, I've been doing very good the past 5 years. I get 200% return on my investments. Hey, that'd be fantastic. I would love to chat with them and see what they do. But anyone who is not willing to have, I'm not going to say it again, but that was a good laugh. Thank you. That was a good laugh, because people are crazy, honestly. People are too silly. I just can't. All right. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, so let's read this one really quick. So predicting some sharp drops within the next couple of days, now that 002 has passed. It's literally a lose-lose situation for shorties. They don't declare their short positions, force liquidation. They do declare their over-leveraged short positions, margin calls. They have until Wednesday to get their Hail Marys out. They know they're going down. They're going to try and sink the ship before then. Hold and buckle up, buttercups. It's about to get wild. And that's that. That is that. Which is great, but a slow burn like Tesla. You're welcome. All right. Realistically, I think I'm going to end it there. And let us sit there, right? Buckle up, buttercups, is what I want everyone to see. Okay. Alexander, yes, this is Webull, and I'm using version 4 for the desktop. It's freaking fantastic, honestly. It's so dang good. I like it so much. Man, who would have thought? Would anyone have thought, being zoomed out on this, that the $25 run, right, whenever it had this crazy move right here, $20 run, whatever, that it would look this small, like, compared to where we are now? Like, it just feels so freaking. I remember when remember at one point this was all the way up here, right? This little run down here was all the way up here. It's a matter of perspective. It's crazy, too crazy. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I feel like this is great. But buckle up, buttercups. It's about to get wild. So you guys have a fantastic night. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will be on tomorrow per usual. Tuesday, we'll see Diamond Backhand here and see if we have some kind of movement. But either way, Wednesday is looking Wednesday in the morning per that post is when it'll be active. We'll see if we see any kind of price movement. I'm going to shield myself and say, you know what? If it happens, great. If not, I'm going to continue to hold with these diamond hands. And that's that. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll say it all over again. But you guys have a fantastic night. Peace.